Welcome into Titans Today. I am Tom Downey. Mike Borgonzi had his press conference with the Tennessee Titans, and among the many things we'll discuss, I think the first one to mention first and foremost is that Tennessee said Borgonzi will make the picks. There were plenty of questions about who actually has the power in the organization, who's the decider, so to speak. This helps answer that. Borgonzi's going to make the picks, and I think there is still some questions as to how the power structure actually plays out, but Borgonzi has a ton of control, and I think that's the main thing to take away from this. There were several comments, by the way, that stood out to me about this. So we'll break those down about trading down, about the key line about taking a generational player at number one, and we'll also break down Mel Kiper's NFL mock draft and what he did for Tennessee at number one overall. But first, the goal is 10,000 subscribers. We are inching closer and closer to reaching that goal. We need 112 more. I know for a fact there are going to be more than 112 people who are watching this show right this second who have not yet subscribed. So be one who does it. Hit that sub button right now. Now, Chad Brinker, I'm just going to call him the not GM for the Tennessee Titans, had this to say: we won't pass on a generational talent with the first pick in the NFL draft. We're doing our homework on all the prospects, including the QBs. Now, I interpreted that, and you can leave it up to interpretation of how you feel about the QBs. I don't think anyone views these quarterbacks as generational players. I don't think that they view Cam Ward, who might be the number one QB in the draft, as a Caleb Williams-esque prospect, a Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck-esque prospect. Shedeur Sanders is not viewed as that type of prospect. It's not who I think those guys are. And I don't think that if you got answers from all NFL scouts and GMs, I think the vast majority would feel pretty similar about that. Now, maybe Travis Hunter is. I also don't know if that is a lock from the general consensus NFL standpoint. Maybe Tennessee does feel that way. It's individually based, of course, and Tennessee is all that matters in the end. Hunter, I think, is going to be a very popular number one overall player in the class. Heisman winner, went for over 1,000 yards as a receiver, picked off 4 passes, only allowed 23 of 41 targets. Teams didn't really throw his way, and when they did, normally more bad things happened than good things happened when Travis Hunter was out there in coverage. I think you'll have some people in the NFL too. I think Abdul Carter, the Penn State pass rusher, is the number one player in the class. That is the very talented, looked really good in the CFP, really got going as the season went along, finished the year with double-digit sacks, a high pressure rate, bendy, athletic, twitched up, all the things you're looking for in that number one premium edge rusher, a premium player at a premium position. Tennessee has options. They could trade down, maybe still get one of those two guys in Carter or Hunter, who we'll discuss here, the trade angle here in a little bit. Or maybe they stay pat at number one and just take the best quarterback if they believe that guy can be a franchise QB. Who do you think the Titans end up drafting in round one? It'll be the pinned comments on today's video, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. The trade down rumors are also very much here because Mike Borgonzi kind of did the signaling the message to the NFL other GMs about, hey, I will listen to trade offers for the number one overall pick. Borgonzi had this to say: draft picks are our biggest form of currency. So when there's opportunities to trade back and collect more picks, we're going to do that. We want to make 30 draft picks over the next 3 years. And we want 12 of those in the top 100s, or to be in the top 100s. So Brinker and Borgonzi on the exact same line when it comes to this. The Titans are light on picks for the 2025 NFL draft. They don't have a lot of those. They are light. They have a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick this year, first, second, and thirds in each of the next 2 drafts. So you have 8 of the 12 you would ideally like to end up with. And maybe they'll stretch it and say, that 107 of the 4th-round pick ends up being after comp picks, 101, whatever it ends up being. Maybe that puts us, and we count that one. You're still several short. That's still a long way away from 4 per year. You're at less than 3 right now. So that would, in theory, mean a trade down is very possible for Tennessee. So I want to look at some of the recent trades, because if you want to get a bunch of draft capital, The single greatest asset this team has is the number 1 overall pick. Before we get to that, though, today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. The conference championships are here. You can get the freebie from PrizePicks, which is the Jaden Daniels half passing yard. It's a no-brainer. Throw it in on all of your PrizePicks slates. Other ones you can do as well. Terry McLaurin, maybe anytime touchdown. James Cook, numbers gone up a little bit, by the way, so there could be some more value on the less than rushing yards. And something tells me Saquon Barkley will find his way into the end zone once again as well. I do the flex play. That way, if I get one wrong, I still cash out. Go download the PrizePicks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. Link again, comments section and the description. At $50 is guaranteed. You don't have to win. Just place your first $5 PrizePicks slate and you'll get that $50 instantly. Let's go to the Chicago Bears here. Now, this is what they got in the 2023 draft. They got DJ Moore, the number 9 pick, a second-round pick, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick 2 years later. So there's really, it's 4 top 100 picks, but also DJ Moore is immensely valuable. We're all, in theory, otherwise, why are you online? You probably shouldn't be in a scary place. We're all old enough to remember the Tennessee Titans trading down back in 2016. Now, this was a much steeper drop-off. It was a first, a second first, 2 thirds, and 2 twos in the same class, by the way. A ton of draft capital. The Chargers, all the way back in 2001, got Tim Dwight, the wide receiver, a first, a third in the same class, and a future second. So a little bit less on the trade value from that one, but they also weren't going to take a quarterback, and they got LT, and it worked out pretty well for them in the end. There haven't been very many recent trades at number 1 overall. And draft pick trade values fluctuate. It depends on who you're going up for or what the demand is. It's not always 1-to-1 when you're at number 1. So I want to look at some number 2 pick trades here. I want to look at what the deals were to move down 1 spot later, but still get your guy. The Niners, the infamous Mitch Trubisky trade. A first, a third, a fourth, and a future third to move down 1 spot for Trubisky. So it's not a bad haul for 1 spot. Browns back in 2016, the Carson Wentz trade. Got number 8, number 77, number 100, a first and a second. I feel like those last 2 values might be a little bit more in line with what Tennessee could get than like the DJ Moore trade, because I doubt they go down to 9 anyway. Of note, every single one of those picks was a quarterback. Teams are not going to give up that level of haul for as good as Travis Hunter is, as good as Abdul Carter is, for a non-QB. So you need a team to want to draft a quarterback. That means you decide you don't want to draft that QB because you don't have one in place, and the free agency draft and free agency market doesn't look particularly great. And if you do believe Carter and Hunter is a generational player, then that's why you stand pat. So what should the Titans do with the number 1 pick? Type T for trade, K for keep. Sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. Now, we'll go to the Mel Kiper mock draft to wrap things up today. He had the Titans drafting Miami Hurricanes quarterback Cam Ward with the number 1 overall selection. We'll break down Kiper's explanation of it. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ward go number 1 overall, to be the first quarterback at least taken in this year's NFL draft. He is a gunslinger. And you can go back and look at some fumbling issues he's had previously. He'll take some sacks. He'll cough the football up a little bit. But he is a creator. He is able to push the ball downfield. He is able to make big plays happen by buying time, sometimes holding the ball too long. He can be a little bit reckless. He can be a little bit of a gunslinger. But it will be entertaining in a way that it really hasn't been at quarterback for Tennessee if you made that pick for far too many years. So sitting here right now, late January, grade the potential draft pick of Cam Ward A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. This was the argument from Mel Kiper. I was a fan of Will Levis since I took him early on day 2, and there's still a chance to put it all together, but he hasn't played nearly well enough to keep the job in Tennessee. Tennessee, the NFL's second worst QBR and interception total this year as they bounce between Levis and Mason Rudolph. I'm sure new GM Mike Borgonzi will listen to trade offers here, but his real one should be between Cam Ward and Colorado Shedeur Sanders. I have Shedeur Sanders ranked one spot higher than Ward on my big board, but Ward has the early top pick buzz around the league, though, so that's where I'm leaning for now. He extends plays with creativity, mobility, and his strong arm. Ward led the nation with 39 touchdown passes this season, and he'll put the Titans back on track. In the end, there's nothing more important for a franchise than getting the right quarterback in there, at least in terms of like roster personnel, ownership, GM, head coach, all that stuff matter, maybe just as much, if not more so, in certain areas. If the Titans or any team believes Cam Ward is that franchise quarterback, you take him. Because if you're wrong, you're getting fired. And if you pass on him and you don't find somebody, you're getting fired anyway. So at some point, you have to take that bet.